Yep. Good morning, I'm Amanda Taylor from Oatka Glass Studio. Welcome to the new, we're going to be doing glass mosaics today, so creating some flower panels. Araya is with me here today, and this is all part of the Tour of Your Arts studio tour, virtual studio tour. So yeah, I hope you're checking out all the stuff, and if you like my video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up or whatever. But I thought I'd talk about some of the previous pieces that I've made in the past and some of the images I've worked from on this kind of technique. So these are, it's a blue poppy piece, and this is the image that we started working from on that. And then there's another, there's red poppy piece that I did quite a few years ago now. And then this is the image that we were working from on that. So, and you can see that there's quite a bit of difference in the colors. This is a painting, and this is a transparent piece of glass. So, yeah, there will be a little bit of your own interpretation when you work with that. I don't know if you can see that better if I put a white piece of paper behind that. Anyway, but today we are going to, Araya and I are going to be working on this piece. And how I typically get started is by, printing off the image I want to work from. This is a traditional mosaic piece. And then I take that image and I flip it. And the reason why I do that is because we're actually going to be tracing the image onto my piece of glass that is here, and I'm doing it on the reverse side. So this is the smooth side, and this is the textured side of the glass. So I'm going to actually flip that. I flipped. I'm actually going to clean my glass off because it has a little mark on it that I don't want on. Where's the... I'll just spit. There you go. A solution. Spit on it. Okay, so Araya has actually gone ahead and she started drawing her flowers on here. So you can see, what she's done so far. I had her mark on here, which, if she wants to use red or the orange, because for the lighter shades of the poppies on here, we're actually going to use orange, and then we're going to shade it to make it look like a red, but with powders over top, so it's not so dark as the red. But anyway, so she's going to start working on that. So what I'm going to get her to do is start nipping or cutting some pieces of glass, and she's used a glass cutter before, right? And then, yeah, so she's used a glass cutter before, so she's going to be using glass cutter and some running pliers. And there's a ton of red glass here. I'm using transparent, all transparent, and this is orange, and it doesn't look orange, but it will be orange when it's fired in the kiln. So you can start with the red if you want, and then, yeah, and I'll just go forward with drawing out. Yes, you do. Yeah, and then you can use so she's finished with the flipped image. Now she's going to be using the original image for, there we go. Perfect. So now that she has the original image, has the marks on the back of the glass, so that if she spits on it to clean off, or she uses hairspray or anything, it's not going to wash off the tracing in the background. So, so I'm just going to go ahead and start drawing mine out while she works on that. Yeah. So, okay. Maybe I'll use your marker since it works. Mine doesn't. Yeah, so it's just tracing of the poppies that are, and the leaves and the stems. I don't care about the background as such because that will come later. But also, I don't care about how many pieces of the glass are on my photograph, because I'm probably going to be nipping up my own. Yeah, you can make your own judgment on what you want to do with that. And also your own colors. You don't have to do red. But I love poppies, so yeah, so I'm just outlining the petals of the poppy. And some of the leaves that are in the background. It's actually a leaf behind the poppy. There we go. If you have any questions, Araya, let me know. Okay? Yeah, so, and this can go back. There's a stem down there. And I'm just using an image here. Usually I just draw my own, or I work free form. I don't actually have a photograph or image in the background. So you can just do like a random shapes with this, like a rainbow, or so on and so on and so on. So I'm actually going to take this right to the edge, because I'm going to change it a little bit. So there we go. Whoops. Bumpy glass. Yeah, so there we are. And get that in there. Some more of the poppy, the stem, which goes behind the other poppy. There we go. And you don't have to have the petals the same way as what the picture is either, but for simplicity's sake and for time-wise, you could spend like a couple hours on this, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to watch me do all of this. But, okay, 2 more poppies to go. And this is kind of this is a technique that Miriam DeFiore came to our studio and taught, and I've taken workshops in it, and I've also taught this, mosaic form of fused glass. But this particular style that we're actually going to be creating in the end is something that was taught to me by Miriam DeFiore, my friend in Italy. Okay, so just a few more little outlines. And I could have Araya do, like, I'm gonna orange, 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 orange. And that's all up to your own interpretation as well. And and that's about it for the tracing. I said I can actually, try to conform to, again, draw in here where the division between one color green is and the other, and also, wavy glass, and put in, little colored little pieces in here. And those are just for interest. Little tiny poppies. And it's just basic shapes. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna be copying this exactly, so that's it. And now, So do you want to super glue?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for that?
No, I got a few pieces.
Okay. Yeah, so right now Araya is, she's actually put a couple pieces on here and cut them, so that's going to be like this, right? Yeah. There. Yeah, and they, like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly fit, but because we are actually going to be putting some frit in between the little petals so that it creates little outlines, and you can kind of see that on this piece as well. I'll put a white background on it so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, so we'll be leaving little gaps in between the colors just so that we can get some fine frit in between, and that kind of gives it a mosaic style look when you're finished. But it's fused glass. There's no grout or anything in these pieces. It's just glass. Any questions? Keep on going. Okay, so I'm going to take my flipped image off, and I'm going to actually work on the other side. So there you go. It matches pretty much. And now I can start cutting some glass. So I'm going to reach over here. Whoops. And this again does not look like it's going to be red, but it is. And for today, I'm actually going to take out some of these little pieces. And I'm going to dump them into, there's tons of little pieces. I probably won't even have to use the bigger pieces. So there we go, dumping it in. And that should be enough. Oh, sure, she's going to cheat now. And also Ray is wearing glasses today, you know, just in case when you're cutting. I'm going to put my glasses on too, because when you're nipping the glass with the nippers, sometimes little pieces of glass fly up into your face, or from me or from Araya, so I don't want to take any chances of getting hit in the eye. So on go my wonderful glasses. So okay, so we're gonna see if I have any pieces here that would fit, and use them. But I might just, and I have these little nippers, so that's kind of what I'm using here. And let's see here. There we go. I might use a little glass cutter. So I'm putting that on there. Putting it on the image and actually cutting it. And then using the running pliers to get that off there. And then I might, again, just overlaying, holding it in place. And I can probably just nip that off. Nipped off. And there's the first one. So I'm going to glue as I go, so I don't have to worry about them moving around too much. Just regular super glue. And so I'm going to see if I can find a piece that this might fit in. And there's one right there. So again, you can always mark with your marker. No, you can't have any glue. Open up the glue for you. Do not get it on you. So I would lift the piece of glass and put a little tiny dot. Okay? Yeah, kind of like this. Just lift it up and put a little dot on there. Okay, it'll come. There we go. And there. Okay? And don't touch it. Okay, so I have some of these little pieces that I nipped up, and I can actually use them, put them on there for these little tiny dots of color, and of course it's going to flip and do funny things for me. I'm going to use a little dot of super glue on there. There we go. Another little dot of color. And so on and so forth. So, yeah. You know, and we can use amber in the background. So I'm going to continue with the flower pieces, the petals. And I'm going to do a little cutting. And little running pliers. There we go. Little dot of color. Don't steal my glass cutter. Okay, and there's another little piece that I might be able to use somewhere else. I doubt it, but you never know. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to get some orange out. Some orange. Like I said, it doesn't look orange, but it is. And we're going to draw this on here. And then I'm going to nip at it. So I might use a glass cutter for that. And there, cut that. And I'm just going to do a little nip there. And that should fit in where I want it to. Yes, it does. Okay, so little dot of glue, and it goes. And so and that will be orange when I'm finished. I'm going to actually use one of these. And then a piece of glass. No. See if that'll work for this. Yeah, I'm going to nip that off. These are kind of like micro mosaics in a way. So, and again, nip it off. Okay, and a little dot of glue in there. And push it into place. There we are. I actually might put another piece of glass in there just to make that little flower a little bit bigger. It fits perfectly in that spot. Another piece of red. And use a little marker to mark it. It's kind of rounded on the edge, so there we go. So like I said, it's a fiddly work, but they're gorgeous pieces when you finish with them. Okay, let's see if I can actually, I might just leave that on there because there we go. Because it'd be kind of hard to nip off that little edge, so I'm just going to use it the way it is. Yes, I mean, you can play with this a little bit. Try to leave a little tiny gap in there. One poppy done. How are you doing? Good. And again, try to cut a little sliver here. And I'm going to go slightly. We'll see how that works. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to nip that off. Nip it off. Nip it off. Try to keep the orange and the red separate. Of course, that didn't work too well. I didn't like being nipped off there. There we go. And I'm going to use a little piece there. Little tiny micro mosaics. Here, in goes the orange. Little dot of glue. There we go. Do you need anything? You want to? Oh, you're still working on the red? Yeah. You're quiet today. Actually, she's always quiet, so not always, but okay. So that again. And my little running pliers. There we go. And in it goes. There's a dot of color. And it looks like it's a different color, but it really isn't. Like I said, I'm trying to leave a minute little gap in there. And then this one. You know, and I can also use this as a template, but I'm just going right in here and Lance is making my crew breakfast this morning again. Waffles and bacon. My crew. It's whatever. Okay. Again. A little nip. Trying to keep all this separate. Yellow over there. That can go in here. Yes, it can. Little dot of glue. So you kind of get the picture of what we're doing here. So I'm not going to bore you with all the grave details, but Array is coming along quite well because she started a little bit ahead of me. So, and so we're going to continue filling all this in. Going to work on the background, and then in a couple days I'll actually show you the results of what we've done, and yeah, and then move on from there. So the next video demo that I'm going to be doing in a couple days is going to be on mold making for glass casting, and actually it's mold making for creating a pâte de verre vessel. So if you want to watch us,